Hello everyone, I'm Em. Welcome back to TechBlock. Today we got a bunch of tech we're going to be taking a look at, and when I say a bunch, I do mean a bunch. It's kind of like all over the place in terms of what kind of tech it is. Some of it's smart home stuff, some of it's for the upcoming cable management part 2 video. We have another 6-socket power lead extension thing, as well as, what else did I buy? Oh, I bought this guy. This is a Sony SD card reader, but it's a special one. This supports high-speed UHS-2 micro SD cards, so I think that's like probably up to 300 megabytes per second. This is going to be super handy, kind of like future-proofing myself, I suppose. And I also bought myself another one, but this one is for micro SD cards specifically. So we're going to have one for full-size SD and then one for micro SD cards as well. So that's what these guys are for. If we unbox it real quick, it's nothing too exciting, I suppose. It literally is just an SD card reader, but a fast one. So, you know, you plug it into a USB port and then you put an SD card in here and bada bing, bada boom, it's much faster than a regular SD card reader. Moving on though, we have some stuff for 10 gigabit networking. So this is all still very new to me. I'm still learning and I've already kind of like made a mistake. So what I bought is, I bought one of these guys. This is an SFP Plus, which is like a 10 gigabit port at the back of my router, to a RJ45 connection, which is essentially an Ethernet cable. So I bought this as it was like, I think £15 on Amazon, like pretty inexpensive, but there were different versions of this guy available on Amazon for like £100 and more. So I'm like, I didn't really see a difference at first from the £15 version to like the £125 version. I went ahead and looked at both of the products. Both of them were from a company called 10G Tech. So I'm assuming just like, all their stuff is 10 gigabit. It isn't. So I kind of just went ahead and bought the £15 version, thinking that it supports 10 gigabit transfer speeds, but this is a 1 gigabit converter here, not a 10 gigabit one. So that was a fail, and I literally have no use for this. Maybe I will in the future, but for now, this is absolutely useless to me. So what I went ahead and did is, instead of buying the, let's say, £125 version that is actually 10 gigabit for an RJ45 like converter thing, I'm instead going the fiber optic route. So I bought a SFP Plus to fiber optic converter, I suppose. So I've ordered myself 2 fiber optic cables, at least I think they're fiber optic cables. I don't know what the heck I bought, but they're LC to LC cables. That's just what they're called on Amazon. Pretty sure they support 10 gigabit. It said 10 gigabit up to 40 gigabit, I guess. However, the delivery time, it's quite long. I think they'll be here in like a week or 2, maybe 3. I don't know where they're coming from, but it's from Amazon. But yeah, the delivery is still gonna take way longer than expected. But once it gets here, I should possibly be able to take advantage of 10 gigabit then. Also, before the fiber optic cables actually get here, I do actually need to sort out like a network card that supports 10 gigabit networking. Else how the heck am I actually going to take advantage of 10 gigabit networking if my PC can't support it? So I do actually need to get myself a 10 gigabit network card as well, but I think Netgear might be hooking me up with one. I don't know yet, so I'm kind of just like waiting until they respond to me. But apart from that, that's kind of like a little update on 10 gigabit. It should be up and running probably within a month, I'd say. We should have 10 gigabit, in-home networking all set up. Assuming, of course, that the whole fiber optic connection that I plan on setting up is, gonna be functional, and that I haven't bought, the incorrect like fiber optic cables or, the incorrect converters. I don't know, I'm still learning. So hopefully everything will go to plan in the next like 30 days or so. Anyway, that's been the whole 10 gigabit update. Moving on, we got some stuff right here. So this is a wireless charger for your phone, but it ain't no regular wireless charger. It's a 10,000 milliamp portable battery bank that supports wireless charging, and my PC has fallen asleep. But let's take this guy out of its packaging. I have already used this guy in the past, and I took it with me to London. I was like on a train ride for probably like an hour or so, and I kind of put this guy to the test. I had my phone sitting on top of it the entire journey, and I can show you guys, like, it is a real product. It's super slim. Given the fact that it's 10,000 milliamp hours, it's very slim, and it has like, a wireless charging pad there as well. So I like the design of it. It's pretty good. I don't think this is very expensive either. I think it's maybe like 25, maybe £30 on Amazon, and I hope they're available in the US as well. But not only can you charge your phone wirelessly, you can of course charge two devices with this one as well via a regular USB connection, one outputting a 2 amp connection and the other one doing 1 amp. So of course, ideally you want to be using the 2 amp port for much faster charging. But if you don't have a cable on you and you just want to charge your phone wirelessly, you can do that. All you have to do is make sure that this thing's actually on and pop your phone on there. It's charging. As you all can see, you take it off, it stops charging, you put it back on there, it's charging. It's good. However, there is a slight problem. Given the fact that it is wireless charging, don't expect it to be fast. I had my phone on here throughout like an entire train journey, and it really...
Sorry, I couldn't find what you were searching for.
And it really didn't charge the phone too much. Like, my Razer wireless charger here is by far the best wireless charger I've used, as when my phone's on there, it charges my phone pretty quickly, I'd say. But this guy is like a snail in comparison to the Razer one. So it's very, very slow wireless charging, but it's pretty cool, and it is 10,000 milliamp hours. It's got a good design, so I think I'd still recommend it. You know, it has 2 USB ports, and it is pretty cool not having to carry around cables with you for like a portable battery bank. Just, you know, have your battery bank and your phone in the same pocket, and it's charging. So it's as simple as that really, and it works pretty well. It's just not that fast when it comes to wireless charging. Also, friendly reminder, everything in today's video is linked down below in the description, as with all of my videos. If you see anything that you like, check the links down below there. You can buy it yourself if you want to. Anyway, let's move on. We have this guy. This is an RGB Coaster. Now, the community over here recommended this to me. I don't know who exactly it was, as they recommended this quite a while ago, probably a few months ago. So I went ahead and bought one, and here it is. It essentially is a RGB coaster that you can put a drink on, let's say like a can of Monster, you know, a water bottle. Now this is made for cars, all right? So it's not really made for your desk. It still works fine. I mean, it's just an LED coaster really that can change colors, but it is kind of made for a car. So I have a car now, luckily, and I have been using this guy for probably around a week or two, and the battery life, from my experience, isn't that good in this thing. And in order for it to actually activate, you have to cover like a little light sensor there. So this works very well in a car, not too well in a very, like, you know, well-lit environment, because unless I cover this guy up, no, it still doesn't work. So you pretty much have to cover this thing up, or just have it in your car. So it's a pretty cool product, I suppose. I have heard that these do die pretty soon though, like their build quality is pretty bad. And the battery life on this thing, I'd say probably lasted a week, maybe like 5-6 days before it died and had to be recharged again. And you recharge it via like a micro USB cable. So it's not a bad product, but I think it's like £10 on Amazon, so I really wouldn't pay that much for it. Plus, really not a fan of the design that's on here. Like, I wish that they had like a Volkswagen symbol or something. Maybe they do, I just don't know about it, as they have like BMW like M series, I have a Volkswagen R, AMG for Mercedes, and a bunch of other stuff. I wish they had like a, just, you know, like a Volkswagen symbol. That would be cool, as that would kind of, you know, fit into my car much better, as opposed to this like RAL symbol on this coaster, which I'm really not a fan of the design of this thing, but it has RGB, it lights up your drink like in the dark. When this is in my car and I've had a water bottle in it, pretty much what happens is when you have a water bottle on there, it pretty much just like shines the light into the water, and it looks pretty cool at night. But yeah, this is pretty much made for like cars. It's cool, I guess, but not sure if it's worth £10 given the fact that the battery life isn't that good, and there's like this very stupid logo on there, which I really don't like. But apart from that, you know, that's that RGB coaster, and we have quite a few more RGB items to actually cover here. But before that, one more thing I want to show you guys for the upcoming cable management part 2 video is this thing. Now, I bought this from RAV Power on Amazon. RAV Power are like a pretty reputable brand, and they make some great products. So I went ahead and bought this guy. So that's just a power cable. What am I showing you guys? I bought this. Now, this is essentially like a 4-port fast charger for USB devices. So I plan on sticking this below my desk, of course, powering it and stuff, and charging 4 devices. One of them being my Razer wireless charger, and then another one being a lightning cable, and 2 more being either micro USB cables or Type-C cables. So that's kind of the plan there. Anyway, yeah, this is basically just going to be used for like the cable management video. It's a cool product. Definitely happy I bought it, as it is going to be very useful for me in terms of cable management and just having everything nicely organized, and of course the product's receiving enough juice, as that is, I think, a 40-watt charger, and I think every single one of the like USB ports there are 2.4 amps, so it should be more than enough juice to, you know, charge my devices and stuff, so it's gonna be all good. The rest of the stuff we have here is literally all RGB. We have a smart Wi-Fi LED bulb. Now, all of this stuff here I've bought myself, except for the Minger one. I think that's the only item that was sent to me for free for review. Yeah, so this is Minger, but they've now renamed themselves to GoV apparently. So for some reason they've still kept the Minger packaging though for their LED strips. So it is a bit confusing which company you should be calling them under, but apparently they've renamed themselves to GoV now. So they have this LED strip, and I like that company. I've covered their LED strips in the past, and they've been pretty good. They had like a DIY mode, and the whole LED strip was kind of like addressable. It had like a Bluetooth app that you connect to and stuff. It was good, and it was relatively inexpensive and kind of like one of a kind for the kind of features it has. So I was pretty impressed with it, and I made 2 videos pretty much just like reviewing it. So if you want to go check those out, press any card somewhere on the screen popping up now. Anyway, they reached out to me and they sent me over their new Wi-Fi LED strip, as my main problem with their previous one was the fact that it did not support any smart home functionality through like Apple HomeKit or, you know, Amazon Echo, Google Home. It didn't have any of that. It just had like a Bluetooth app. So I was kind of disappointed about that, and I did fix the problem myself by plugging the entire LED strip into a smart plug to enable me to, you know, turn it off and on via like an Amazon Echo. But I quickly switched to Philips Hue shortly after. But now they've updated their LED strips and they now support Wi-Fi. Apparently they still do have a DIY mode, but ooh, just move that box out of the way there. Apparently they do support DIY mode, but I have a feeling that this isn't going to be addressable. Let's power this guy up, as I am interested in whether it will be addressable or whether this will be just like a very simple, you know, single color LED light strip like my Philips Hue one. But at least my Philips Hue one supports like Razer Chroma, Apple HomeKit and all. This does not support Apple HomeKit, but it does have a pretty cool app. So there we go, plugged it in, it works, and this LED strip even has inline controls. Oh, okay, so it also has a music mode. As you can probably see, whenever I speak, the LED strip activates, and the music mode, or the, like, you know, I guess audio reactive mode right here, works very well, right? And that is because there is a microphone in the actual inline controller right here. There's a little microphone right there that captures audio and allows the LED strip to react to various, you know, sounds and stuff. But by the looks of things, it is a single color LED strip. The middle button here switches between static colors for you. The top button here is a power button, so you can turn it off and on. This, of course, isn't the only way to control the LED light strip. You can, of course, download their app. So the third button here, okay, this is the music modes, I see. Well, so that's that. Pretty much it can react to music and stuff, pretty cool. I'm gonna quickly download the app and see if there is any cool DIY modes that we can set up. Now, I believe that app is now called the GoV app. Right, so apparently I can't get it connected to my Wi-Fi network. I think it might have a problem with like 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi connection. So I'm gonna just put this guy back for now and take a look at it in the near future, as I will be posting a full review of this LED strip pretty soon. But for now though, I'm gonna just put this guy away until I can get the LED strip working and actually connect it to my Wi-Fi network, because at the moment it doesn't want to do so. Right, what's next? We have a Wi-Fi smart bulb from Meros. Now, I've covered products from Meros before. Now, this is pretty inexpensive, like I think £15, £20 maybe on Amazon. So it's pretty cheap, especially when compared to something like Philips Hue. So it's just like, you know, an RGB bulb, and I've been testing this guy out. It's cool. I like their app. You can set up functions in their app to turn the light bulb off after like 1 minute or 2 minutes or like whatever time you want really. So that's pretty cool. And it is of course RGB, so you can set it to whatever color you want, but it does not support Apple HomeKit unfortunately, which was kind of a bummer. But I will probably be featuring this guy in like a future video if I ever do like some budget RGB stuff, which I'm actually planning on doing. Hence why we have a whole bunch more RGB products. So people have been telling me to buy a WS2812B LED strip, as they're apparently addressable. They're super cheap. Let me tell you, these are really cheap. And they're apparently pretty good. Now, I tried to power this guy yesterday and it completely failed. So I'm gonna try again today. maybe somehow we can get it to work, but I don't have high hopes for this. I went on Amazon and I also bought a Wi-Fi controller for this addressable LED strip here. Right, so I tried to do this yesterday, but it literally was not working. So, any better luck today? No, it just does this to me. Can anyone explain why it's doing this? It just flashes. There are 2 extra wires here, a white one and a red one. However, I don't have a clue what the hell these plug into. I've never used this kind of like LED strip before. So, might have to do some Google searches, or you guys can help me out, as I know a lot of you do own these types of LED strips and you've been begging me to like review them and check them out for ages now. As you can do like wave effects on them, like actual wave effects with like awesome like gradients and everything. Like these LED strips look awesome. However, I don't know if my controller is faulty or the power supply isn't quite right for this one. I don't know, man. What the heck? Oh, 12 to 24 volt. I think I'm using a 5 volt one. Right, I think I just found the problem there. Yeah, I'm gonna probably order myself a brand new power supply, a 12 volt one, and that should hopefully resolve this issue, hopefully. Next up, we have an RGB toilet bowl. You can add RGB to your toilet, of all things. This is very inexpensive, and it's pretty cool. Now, at first, I kind of thought this is gonna look absolutely stupid, but it doesn't. It works very well. It's a very simple product, very inexpensive. You put it like on your toilet like rim, I guess, and it illuminates your toilet. It makes your toilet RGB. It cycles through a bunch of colors by itself. When the bathroom light is on, this turns off as there's no need for it to be on then. But if it's dark, this is on and your toilet bowl is RGB and it's lighting up. And in our case, our bathroom light bulb is kind of broken, so when you turn it on, it takes like 5 to 10 seconds to actually turn on. So during that time, you still can see what you're doing. That's pretty useful, and it's very inexpensive and it looks pretty cool. It makes your toilet RGB. What else can I say really? I also bought myself an LED shower head. I'm gonna be making a dedicated video about a bunch of like random RGB products pretty soon. And before we end this video, I have one more product that I want to show you. So if we go into the kitchen, which I don't think any of you have ever seen before, here we go. I've made one of the taps RGB, kind of. Well, it's not really RGB, but if we take a look at this tap right here, now ignore the fact that it's currently being held on by electrical tape. This is the only way I've been able to attach this RGB tap thing to my actual tap. And that is because our taps are not compatible with this RGB thing that I bought on Amazon. So this is pretty much the only way I could get it to work. But you see that, dude? Isn't that sick? There's no batteries, it just works. There are no batteries or anything, like it just works. And if you'd have this on hot water, the water LED light would be red. So that's that product. It's pretty cool, pretty inexpensive, and I wish my tap could like probably could actually like, you know, work with it and it look normal as opposed to it being attached via electrical tape. I'm gonna have to take it off, unfortunately, as it looks freaking stupid, but it is a cool product and I kind of wanted to show it to you guys, so perhaps in your situation it works for you. Now, the RGB toilet. So as you see, we have an RGB toilet. So you walk in, you know, it's RGB. If we turn the light bulb on, or the light in the toilet, you see it takes a while. Like, we're still waiting. Meanwhile, the toilet is RGB and all, it's changing colors, but see, when it turns on, wow, everything works absolutely fine. So this is pretty much it. It's this little guy, you put batteries in there, and yeah, it just makes the toilet RGB. There's a little light sensor there as well, so when this bathroom light is on, this isn't on. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for today's video. I kind of just bought a whole bunch of tech on Amazon over the past like few weeks, and I figured it'd be a good time to kind of show everything to you and give you guys an update. Also, in I think 2 days from now, March 3rd, we will be releasing, or I will be releasing, my unboxing and setup of these wonderful products here from Lightwave RF. Now, it is going to be like a sponsored video by them, as they've pretty much hooked me up and sent me over some of their products. We have like a lighting starter kit, as well as their like smart switches like for your wall. Their products are crazy. I can't wait to set these up. They have like Apple HomeKit support, but they have their whole like ecosystem. They have loads of products to like, they have motion sensors, I think. They have everything. Anything you could think of. They have so much stuff. So can't wait to set this guy up. So massive shout out to Lightwave RF for sending all of these, and full video coming soon all about those. But apart from that, everyone, hope you enjoyed watching this video of me just talking about tech and stuff like that really, and RGB toilets and all. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in another video soon. Goodbye.